Hey everyone, it's Ethan Ormis back again for another video today, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here for some franchise mode. I'm really excited. We're going to be starting season number 2 in this episode, so let's get into it. But first of all, I just want to let you know that Taylor is sleeping just on the other side of you guys. So if you hear any weird noises or movement, it's probably her. So she's got to work at 10, I think, tomorrow morning. No, sorry, she's off tomorrow, but she works at 1 the next day. And I got to try to fix my schedule because I'm back to work tomorrow night. So I'm trying to stay up a little bit later tonight. So it's currently 10 after 5. Yeah. So let's take a look at some things. So I'm really proud of what this team looks like. I'm really excited to see how this team does this season. So on the top line, we're going to be having Alex Ovechkin with Nick Backstrom and Anthony Mantha. Really excited to see how that line does. I think that was our top line last season as well. 70 points from Mantha, very good. Backstrom had 72, which is also very good. And Ovechkin, of course, had 78 with another 45-goal season. And we got to keep an eye on the goals because, of course, Ovi is getting pretty close. That's 775 for goals. Where can I... Oh, I think I'll have to go look at the stats separately. Nonetheless, we're going to continue through the lineup. So, Kelly Yarncroc, Evgeny Kuznetsov, and TJ Oshie on the second line. I'm really excited to see how that line does. I think the addition of Kelly Yarncroc could really help us out. We'll see, though. Then Connor Sheary, Connor McMichael, and Tom Wilson on the third line. Going to get McMichael some decent ice time, so hopefully he can run away with that. And then Daniel Sprong, Lars Eller, and Brett Leeson on the fourth line. Unfortunately, they were getting a -1. Lars Eller is just not friendly for this team, and he's kind of the issue there, which honestly means maybe he's worth trading. Then taking a look at our decor, we're going to give Alex Alexiev a ton of ice time. He's going to be playing on the top pairing with John Carlson. Obviously, big hopes for him. Dennis Cholowski and Jason Demers on the second pairing. Jason Demers is our only other right-handed defenseman. So I'd like to give him a decent amount of ice time, but I really want to give Cholowski ice time. So that kind of forces Orlov down to the third pair, and I'm going to play him on his actual technically right side. So yeah, he'll be on the third pair, unfortunately. I just want to give Alexiev the ice time to see if he'll be able to do anything. Like I said, I'm going to try to give him a lot of ice time. So quickly at the special teams, I'm really excited to see how that first unit does. A +5 is really, really cool. And of course, I have Alexiev on the second unit because, again, I really want to see what he can do. And he's mixed up with some very good offensive players there. I'll quickly run through the special teams for you guys. I'm not going to go over them too in depth. And for some reason, just every year, your penalty kill chemistry always sucks for some reason. I really don't know why, but yeah, that is the NHL team. Again, really, really excited for what this team is going to do. And then our AHL team, very interesting to see what this top line can do. Adrian Harvey, of course, our second round draft pick from this past season, a low top 6 forward, but he's already a 67 overall at 18, which is pretty solid. Plus, he's going to be playing with Hendrix Lapierre, who could probably make the NHL team next season, our 2020 first rounder. And then we've got Axel Jonsson-Falby, who was a late draft pick from us a few years ago. And honestly, he could probably be in the NHL this season. Some other players to look out for, Jonathan Deline, who we had signed, Cody Clark, Oscar Magnuson as well. And there were some defensemen of Lucas Johansson, who grew a fair amount, better than I was expecting. He could make the NHL next year. Vinny Iorio, I'm intrigued to see, 2021 second rounder. We'll see if he can grow into anything this season. Martin Feravari and Eric Horth was a free agent that we had signed. And then, of course, goaltending is Zachary Fucale as the starter, and Garen Bjorklund, who's another player we can look at. And I didn't even look at the NHL goalies, but of course, Ilya Samsonov is our goalie, and Aaron Dell is going to be backing him up. I'm intrigued to see how those two work together this year. And then, yeah, let's go take a look at the record book because I want to see where Ovi currently stands in goals. Let's go to the NHL. So, goals right now, Ovi has 775. So this season he probably passes Gordie Howe. We'll have to keep an eye on that. We'll see if he is able to. Unfortunately, it doesn't continuously update as we go through the season, but that's all right. Nonetheless, we will go through the preseason. We'll just sim the preseason just to see, out of curiosity, what our team could be looking like this season. We win our first 2, 3, 4, 5. We lose our 6th game, but we won the first 5 games of the postseason. Sorry, the preseason. Let's take a look. Ovi led the way with 8 points in 7 games, not bad. And we get to play Montreal in Montreal to start off this season. Let's actually, before we do this, I want to take a look at. We obviously had lost in the second round last season, and we had beat. Who was it that we had beat in the first round? Was it the Islanders? Oh man, I really don't remember. Let me take a look at stats here, see if I can see it from last season. I'm not sure if I'll be able to or not. I can't look at the playoff tree from last year. I'm trying to remember who we had lost to. I know we had played Pittsburgh. I think we had played the Rangers in Pittsburgh, and we ended up losing to Pittsburgh, I think, in the second round, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that is correct. Nonetheless, oh, you know what? I don't know if I ever looked at awards last season. I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did, actually, now that I think about it, because, yeah, McKinnon went off, and I knew Matthews had won the Richard. Yeah, okay. I definitely remember that. Never mind. We continue on. Let's actually start the simulation of the second season in this series. I'm very excited. We're going to start it off as a slow sim. Again, playing Montreal in Montreal. Let's see what we can do. First period, we're down 1. See if we can get an opening goal of the season for us here in the second period, though. We do. Alex Ovechkin and Calle Yarncroc, so both power play units getting power play goals. That's a great way to start. And then the third period, we ended up winning. Cole Caulfield on the power play, but Connor McMichael gets his first goal in his first game in the NHL in his rookie season, so that's great to see. And Michael Kempney gets an empty netter, so a great way to start off the season. A 32-save performance from Ilya Samsonov, and Connor Sheary leads the way with 2 assists so far this season. So we'll sim through the first 10 games just to get an idea of what this season could look like. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're going to be simming to our next Montreal game, and that should be our first 10 games. We'll see how we do. So a 3-1 loss to the Avalanche. I'm going to decline that trade, rather not give up a third. And we get an OT loss to Minnesota, which means we were 1-1-1, but we get back-to-back wins against Boston and Toronto. We then lost to Edmonton, and we destroyed Nashville in an 8-4 win, and 6-2-2 in our first 10 is not bad. We get a shootout loss to the Islanders there. That was the game that I had missed. So we at least got a point, and honestly, not a bad start. John Carlson also starting very solidly with a 12-point performance in the first 10 games. Not bad at all. I mean, I'm not going to change anything, but out of curiosity, who else is there? So Kuznetsov at 12-10, Ovechkin and Yarncroc at 10-10. So Yarncroc, so far, this top 6 is working very well. Is everyone in our top 6? In our top 6 scoring? Kuznetsov, Ovi, Yarncroc, Backstrom, Mantha, and Oshie, yeah. All of our top 6 is in our top 7 in scoring, which is great. And Alexiev starting off the season great. He's a plus 10 already. I'm really hoping for good things for Alexiev. I'm hoping he can grow into a very strong player for us. Dennis Cholowski also putting up a solid amount of points to start off the season. Connor McMichael, 3 points, not bad. Of course, going to be keeping an eye on him because he is our prize rookie. And Samsonov, the only one to play a game so far because he hasn't needed to put we haven't needed to put Dell in. We haven't had a back-to-back. And he's been playing great so far. Those are definitely Vezina numbers. We'll see if he can keep it up, and we'll see if we can keep this up. But only time will tell. So we'll continue back into the calendar, and I'll say we'll sim to the 1st of December, and we'll see how we do here in the month of November. October was obviously a pretty solid month. We're on a 4-game losing streak. We do snap that losing streak to Boston, but back in the loss column, we got a few points there in losses. Bjorklund is not a player I really want to give up. And again, you know what, that was a pretty poor month. November definitely wasn't as strong. We definitely fell in the division a lot, up to down to a record of 9-8-5, I guess. 2-5-3 in our last 10 games, which obviously is not great. That's only 7 points out of a possible 20. So obviously not great. No one is point per game on the team anymore, but Let's take a look at what's going on. So Kuznetsov 19, Ovechkin and Backstrom 18, Yarncroc 16 with Carlson, Oshie 13, Mantha 11, Wilson with 9, Alexiev with 7, Chalowski with 6, Orlov still only with 1 assist. That hasn't changed. And let's check Samsonov. Samsonov's stats are still really good. Both of our goalie stats are really good. It looks like we might have just stopped scoring that month. Just to be fair, a lot of the games looked pretty close. So, all right, we continue on. We've only played 22 games. Anaheim here has played 24, so they've played a few more than us. Again, I'm just going to sim it month by month for now. We might as well. We'll see how we do. We do end up beating Anaheim, which is nice, but back into the loss column against Vancouver. But in our first back-to-back of the season, I think it was our first back-to-back of the season, we split at least. Scott Mayfield, honestly, maybe not been a bad player to look at, but I totally just skipped that out of habit, so my bad. Yeah, Scott Mayfield, I mean, no, Connor McMichael, absolutely not. Not on the table whatsoever. Seattle is doing phenomenally. 20-13-2 to start off the season. So we are down to the second worst place in the division right now with a record of 16-13-5. Ovi is over a point per game with 20 goals in 34 games so far. Kuznetsov and Backstrom are right there behind him. Carlson not far behind him either. Mantha, Yarncroc, Oshie all in that 20-point mark so far. I mean, Kempny had a great month there, up to 10 points. Alexiev only 9 now. He's started to slow it down a little bit. Connor McMichael with 7 points so far in 34 games, which isn't terrible. Free agent acquisition, Jason Demers, not doing great. I'm not expecting him to put up points, but it's the -6. That Chalowski-Demers pairing looks to be struggling. So is that bottom pairing by the looks of it. I mean, Kempny's not struggling, but Orlov is really struggling. What about goalies? Okay, Samsonov had a poor month. Dell is still playing solid, but he's not playing very much. I don't really know what to be looking at here. Like, what is the issue? Why aren't we simming well right now? I really don't know. I'm going to change the D pair. I'm going to try Demers on the third pair with Kempny. I don't know why I took the dumbest route to change that, but let's try Orlov and Chalowski together to see if that helps them out at all. You know, I'm going to start Dell in this game against Seattle. I feel like he maybe deserves it more, so you know what, we'll slow sim it, because why not? I don't think I've done a slow sim against Seattle yet, so let's see what we can do. First period here against Seattle in season number 2. We're down 2-0. Hagelin and Wenberg, so one of them is a former Capital, gets the opening goal of the game, and we're down 2-0. Not a great start, but we do get one back in the second period. Daniel Sprong makes it a 1-goal game. We are out shooting Seattle as well, but can we tie this game up is the question. 2-1 right now. Jaden Schwartz makes it 3-1, which obviously is not good. A power play for Seattle, which they do not capitalize on. A Washington power play. It's a long power play. We aren't able to score with either unit, I guess. That's unfortunate. You would think with a powerhouse unit on that first unit, you'd almost be able to score at any time. And Evgeny Kuznetsov scores a goal with 16 seconds left on former teammate Philip Grubauer, but unfortunately, too little too late. And that will be the game against Seattle. I mean, not a bad game, but again, we're really struggling. The one thing that's great about our division is that first and seventh is only split between 7 points from each other, so you're definitely still in the race to make the playoffs, but this is a busy month as well. January is very busy with 3 back-to-backs. Well, we'll see how this works out, I guess. I am intrigued. Bjorklund, again, not a player that I'm looking to get rid of. Let's see if we can stay positive this month. We're positive 3-2 right now. Make it 3-3, 4-3, 5-3. All right, 5-4, 5-4-1, 6-4-1, 6-5-1, 7-5-1, 7-5-2, and 8-5-2, and then 8 6-2. So we were positive. We're up to 24, 19, and 7, which is a little bit better, obviously, and still now 8 points, ranging from us in first place. So we're right outside of a wild card spot right now. We're only 2 points behind the Lightning, who have the other wild card spot over in the Atlantic, but we have 2 games in hand on them, which is a very good sign. So we're still on a good pace, but kind of need some better playing here. And we're going up against a really good team in the Islanders here soon. I'm just going to sim to that Islanders game because it's not for a while. Hendrix Lapierre again is not a player I'm looking to get rid of. All right, so let's see where are we right now? So we're still in 5th. We're behind the Islanders. This is a huge game right now. This could be a massive game. Lightning also still have 57 points. So again, I'm going to take a look at the stats for these players so far this year. So Kuznetsov and Backstrom with 45. Ovi slowed down a lot that month, but that he did hit career 800, so good for him. Carlson 42. I mean, he's playing fantastic right now. Yarncroc at 35. I mean, I can't really ask for much more from an 82 on our second line. TJ Oshie with 35 is not bad. Mantha really started to slow down. Only 29 points in 50 games. I mean, as long as he hits the halfway point mark for games played, that's okay. But still, Konashiri on the third line doing pretty solid. Alexiev, you know what, 16 points, not bad. Not bad at all. This is his rookie season too, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, it is. I totally didn't even think about that. Sorry, guys. So, of course, we have 2 rookies this season. Kempney, honestly, playing really well. 7 goals, 7 assists. Not bad at all. Connor McMichael with 13. He's up to his 70. Was he a 78 or was he already a 79? You know what? He might have already been at 79. Lars Eller, not playing great. Dennis Cholowski, Jason Demers, and Dmitry Orlov are really struggling still. Those 3 defensemen are really struggling. They're letting up a lot of goals. I don't really know what I can do about that, though. Samsonov, honestly, not playing terribly. Arundel also not playing terribly. I mean, overall, our goalies aren't playing bad, but they're not playing, like, great. Let's take a look at some of our stats here. We're obviously scoring a ton of goals a game. 3 goals a game on average. But we're also letting in a lot of goals. What is our power play percentage like? 19.7%. That's second in the division. What about penalty kill? 83.6. That's 4th. I really don't know what's going on here. I don't know if we're just not scoring enough or we're just not getting enough saves anymore. Like, I really don't know what I can do about this team. But nonetheless, I want to take a look at contracts first before we move on because, of course, we are going to have some players that are expiring. And at the rate that Kelly Yarncroc is playing, or at the pace, I guess, he's playing, I really would like to try to re-sign him. I'm going to totally undercut this contract to like $4 million. That might be way too little for what he's looking for, but $4 million by 3 years for an 82 who's putting up very solid numbers so far this year. I'm going to try to really cheap out on Kyle Yarncroc here. We're going to try it. We'll see if he accepts. Lars Eller is someone I'm probably not going to be bringing back around, but I mean, it doesn't mean it can't happen, right? And I mean, he's the priority so far. Dmitry Orlov and Dennis Cholowski and Alexiev are all expiring. So Cholowski is someone I would like to extend. He's looking for a decent amount of money. I should be able to cut this a decent amount. I'm going to try 3.9 for 2 years. I feel like that's a pretty solid contract. And Alexiev, I mean, he's having a good start to his rookie campaign. He wants a 3-year deal, which isn't a bad contract. I'm just a little worried if he doesn't grow, where that 2-year deal looks so much better. What if we do $2 million? You know, I'll do 2.15 for 2 seasons for Alexiev. So I'm not really cutting back on what he's asking for by a ton, but I am cutting back on his years that he asked for. We're going to try it. I feel like he will accept that if he's interested in it. Martin Verivari up to a 78. I'm honestly going to re-sign him. I'll give him a little bit more than what he's asking for since he's only looking for a 2A. And then goalies, both of our goalies in the AHL, or 2 out of the 3 goalies in the AHL expire, but I'm not too worried about them. Brett Leeson, it's looking for a lot of money. Maybe we'll come back to him. So, yeah. I mean, out of the player, I mean, Orlov would be a nice person to bring back, obviously, but he does want a decent amount of money, and I mean, he's really struggling this season. Like, maybe we could we could move on from Orlov and Eller, bring in some maybe younger, stronger talent for us. We do have a pretty old team, to be fair. We've definitely made it younger since I've been the GM, I guess. But definitely a pretty old team for the most part. All right, you know what? Let's continue the simulation. We'll see if any of those players decide to accept. We'll sim to the end of February. Faravari accepts. Not really too surprised about that. Chalowski accepts, which is nice. Yarncroc rejects, so I'm a little worried how much his contract is going to change, or his asking contract, or asking price, I guess, is going to change. And Alexiev accepts, which is nice. So let's go back to expiring players and let's see how much Yarncroc has changed. And you know what? He only wants a 2-year deal now, which is alright. And obviously I won't be able to cut back so much. Let's try 4.6 for 2 years on Yarncroc. I mean, that is a lot of money. Let's try 4.5. But 2 years, honestly, you know what? Could try it for 3 years. I mean, he's having such a good season. Let's try it. We'll do 3 years for 4.5. We'll see if he accepts it. And again, Eller and Orlov, I'm on the fence about. Those are players that we may bring back, but I'm not too sure. We'll sim to the Maple Leafs game, and my God, they're playing fantastically. You must be joking if you think I'm going to extend my contract if this is what you were offering me. Alright, I'll play your game a little bit better. I'm sorry, Yarncroc. Yarncroc is a player I want to bring back, so let's see if we can. His asking price went down for 2 years, so that's nice. Let's try 4.65 for 2 seasons. It's really not a bad contract for the numbers he's putting up this season, so we'll see. We have a back-to-back here against some Atlantic and Metropolitan opponents. We do beat Toronto, and we do get Yarncroc back on the team, which is great. We lose to Columbus, and we're still struggling to get into a wildcard position. If we had to beat Columbus or even got a point there, we probably would have had the wild card, but we're still right there. We're tied with the Lightning for the wild card as well, so we're right there. We really just need to go on a win streak of like 3 or 4 games, but we will sim up to this. This is not Washington. Sorry, this Connor Brown is an interesting player. I may come back to later this season. To this Montreal game is what I meant to say. Let's see if we can take on Montreal here and we can get 2 points off them. Let's see. We started off with a goal from Sam Steele. Not a great start, but it's only 1-0. So, second period, we're down 2-0. Christian Dvorak with the second goal for the Habs, and then a 3-0 game for the Habs, and we lose there, which is not good. And we're down to 6th in the division. And you know what? I will sim to the day before the deadline. We need to really do something good here before the deadline comes around. Oh, 4. Oh, wait, that's 5. That was 5 straight losses. Oh, my God. We lose 7 games in the last 8. Holy shit. We're 2-8-0 heading into the deadline, and we're pretty far behind. Although our division does have the wildcard spot now, and realistically, we only need 3 points to make the postseason, but we are in a very, very poor position right now. What the hell happened in those games? We are just getting outscored by the looks of it. Like, that's crazy to say. I mean, Yarncroc's a 20-goal scorer. This guy's sick, man. He sims great. Shout out to Yarncroc. So Kuznetsov leading the way with 57 points and 19 goals. I'm not really expecting Backstrom to score, but he's already scored more than he did last season. I mean, Ovi isn't on pace for like a crazy season, but he's still on pace for a good season. And of course, Yarncroc. So we only have 2 players that are scoring 20 goals right now. Although Kuznetsov will probably hit that, I would imagine. Oshie and Mantha, I don't know if they do. Man, I really don't know what to do here. This is a really tough decision. Kempny is playing so good. So is Alexiev. Chalowski not playing bad. Eller, I mean, not playing terribly. Connor McMichael. You know, maybe Brett Leeson is someone we should be on this team. Sprong and Orlov's really fucking struggling. I think Orlov's going to be done here with us. He also takes a lot of penalties. Obviously not as much as Tom Wilson, but he has a lot of penalty minutes. And he's really not contributing to this team at all right now, which is sad to say. Orlov, I think, both of our goalie stats have gone down a lot as well. I think Orlov was drafted by us, and he's been here his entire career. Yeah, 2009. So, of course, it's been 13 seasons that he's been with the Capitals franchise. But honestly, I mean, I might look at trading away Orlov here for a different defenseman. We're going to... No, fuck. Oh, Jesus. All right, we're a conservative buyer. We're going into the deadline here. Are we going to go into the deadline, or am I going to end the episode and we're going to go into the deadline in the next one? Alright, so I decided that I'm going to be splitting this video into 2 parts, guys. So this is going to be the first part. Obviously, this is a really long recording, but I'm ending this first part here at the deadline. So thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.